In hospital? Is Dawood dying? Truth or fiction? Shiv decodes Dawood Diversion. Top focus on 5 Live.
Dawood Ibrahim zinda hai ya mar gaya hai. The big rallying cry across social media and the mainstream media thanks to some information that exploded conveniently earlier yesterday in the Pakistani press. Well, here in India today, of course, we call out the nonsense, we call out the fake news, we call out what's real. And over the next 60 minutes, I will be telling you what's real and what's not real in this story, but why it's also important that you understand why this story has come out. I'm Shiv Aroor, this is 5 Live. These are the headlines. A total of 81 opposition MPs from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha suspended for the rest of the winter session as politics over the parliament security breach escalates. Opposition says it's not being allowed to question the Modi government. Probe intensifies into parliament security breach. Accused Sagar Sharma, who set off the smoke cans inside the Lok Sabha, says he's done nothing wrong. Police teams reach Mysuru to extend the probe. Archaeological survey report on Gyanvapi Mosque submitted in court in sealed cover. Details of artifacts discovered given to court. Hindu side says giving report in sealed cover is against the Supreme Court order. Showdown between Kerala Chief Minister and Governor Arif Mohammad Khan escalates. Chief Minister Vijayan accuses Arif of instigating youth. Anti-governor posters come up outside Kozhikode University. Italian Prime Minister's Islam comment explodes. Meloni says Islamic culture and European values incompatible with Europe in an older video. Asserts no place for Islam in Europe. Viewer, let me start right off the bat with the bad news. Dawood Ibrahim is most likely alive and well. The rumors about his hospitalization in Pakistan from some mysterious poisoning incident have exploded across Pakistani and Indian media, but I can tell you that they are very, very questionable and most likely false. The rumors have fed right into a pattern of mysterious deaths of India-designated terrorists in different parts of Pakistan this year. Each of the deaths attributed to some unknown gunmen, spawning a new online metaphor for what many openly hope is India's unsparing new policy of covertly killing its enemies abroad. But this is Dawood Ibrahim, viewer, a terrorist who transcends the ragtag Pakistani jihadis who've been dropping like flies right through 2023 at the hands of unknown gunmen. Suited, booted and in his aviator sunglasses, Dawood's image is very different from virtually every other terrorist on India's list. He's not your bearded, religious hat-wearing, cleric-style arch-terrorist sitting in Muridke or Bahawalpur or Peshawar. He's a resident of Karachi's most upscale neighborhood. He has married his children into Pakistan's most elite families and has been assimilated fully into Pakistan's deep state matrix, where there is nothing Indian about Dawood Ibrahim anymore other than his country of origin. In a year that saw the 30th anniversary of Dawood Ibrahim's principal act of terror, the Bombay blasts, the eagerness to believe news of his demise is understandable. Believe me, I'd like nothing better than to bring you news of Dawood Ibrahim's death. But with Pakistan, rumors and information warfare are a disease that afflicts nearly everything. Viewer, please note that the news of Dawood Ibrahim's hospitalization or death come on a day when Pakistan's government has suspended internet services across the country to coincide with a massive online protest by Imran Khan's Tehreek-e-Insaf. In both India and Pakistan, Dawood Ibrahim is an instantly triggering figure. The moment you want people diverted from the real issue of the Shahbaz Sharif government stopping internet services in order to black out Imran Khan's viral outreach, just put out some unsubstantiated rubbish about Dawood on social media and see how it helps totally divert from the real story. In India, it suits some sections because it helps divert from the month's biggest story, the infiltration of parliament and the big political implosion around it. Dawood to the rescue. The problem is, Dawood Ibrahim has been killed far too many times already, at least 6 times by my count. And there is no evidence to suggest that he is in any danger right now either. In my mind, Dawood is no longer a human being, but a metaphor. He may or may not even be alive, and that doesn't even really matter. Dawood Ibrahim represents the true depths of commitment of Pakistan's deep state to protect India's enemies. He represents India's 3-decade failure to hunt down and destroy a man who to this day has got away with the worst form of sleeping with the enemy. He represents the worst corruption within the Indian system. Did you know, for instance, viewer, that a covert assassination operation ordered by the Vajpayee government was reportedly compromised at the last minute because of corrupt Mumbai police officers who tipped off Dawood Ibrahim? I'm leading my show with the Dawood story as well, except I'll be bringing you facts, not throwing rumors at you and leaving you to wonder whether they're real or fake. The hunt for Dawood Ibrahim continues. The big headline of the day, it's what greeted millions here in India and Pakistan. Underworld Dawn and India's most wanted terrorist Dawood Ibrahim hospitalised in Pakistan's Karachi, apparently due to a serious health complication. This was according to Pakistani media reports, but there was no confirmation of the same as per the information shared by his aide. Take a look at what we know so far.
Some 257 dead. Mumbai descended into a nightmare on March 12, 1993. The orchestrator of these horrific bombings sought refuge in Pakistan. Operating from his ISI-protected mansion in Karachi's Tony Clifton neighborhood, with as many as 7 properties in the Pakistani port city,
दाऊद इब्राहिम जो इंडियन सिटीजन है, बताया जा रहा है कि उसको किसी ने जहर दे दिया है.
Now, unconfirmed reports emerging from Pakistan hint at a new development. India's wanted terror mastermind, Dawood Ibrahim, reportedly hospitalized in Karachi due to severe health complications.
दाऊद इब्राहिम जो इंडियन सिटीजन है, बताया जा रहा है कि उसको किसी ने जहर दे दिया है और अब उसकी हालत नाजुक है, यानी उसकी हालत काफी खराब है. क्रिटिकल कंडीशन में उसको हॉस्पिटल में रखा गया है. अचानक से इस खबर के आते ही ट्विटर भी नहीं है, यूट्यूब भी नहीं है और गूगल सर्विसेज पाकिस्तान में डाउन है.
Speculations arise Dawood Ibrahim might have been poisoned. Reports also suggest internet shutdown in parts of Pakistan. Officially, Pakistan has always denied providing refuge to Dawood Ibrahim. Designated a global terrorist in October 2003, in June 2006, Dawood Ibrahim was named by the then US President as a foreign narcotics trafficker. Accused of smuggling narcotics from Afghanistan and Thailand to the US, Europe, the Middle East, Latin America and Africa. It's no surprise the Pakistani establishment remains silent on reports of Dawood Ibrahim's hospitalization. The shadows of the 1993 Mumbai bombings, however, linger over Pakistan until it breaks the silence on Dawood Ibrahim. Bureau Report, India Today.
So I've put into context for you what these rumors about Dawood Ibrahim's health condition actually mean, because we can tell you for sure that he's alive, he's not dead. Even the information about his hospitalization currently is questionable. But we now have a breaking story, the biggest Dawood news break of the day at a time when this story is breaking. Explosive Dawood Ibrahim audio has been accessed. This is a world exclusive on tape. You're about to hear Dawood Ibrahim himself admit that he is in Pakistan. Viewer, listen very carefully. Remember what I've told you about the context of today's news break. Now listen in to the tapes containing Dawood Ibrahim's voice, the most recent that we could find, where you will hear India's most wanted terrorist himself, and you will also hear him, listen carefully for that, admit that he's in Pakistan. Take a look at this.
Hello.
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम भाईजान।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। वालेकुम सलाम भाई, क्या हाल है?
अल्लाह का शुक्र है, आप कैसे हैं? ठीक ठाक हैं?
सब माशाल्लाह, सब अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अल्लाह का शुक्र है।
बस अल्लाह की मेहर से हर नमाज में, हर दुआ में आपको दुआ देता हूँ और आपका सलाम बार बार पेश करता हूँ आपसे लसन के रजे पे।
आमीन आमीन, जज़ाकल्लाह, अल्लाह ताला अल्लाह ताला
आमीन। अल्लाह आमीन आमीन। और भाईजान आप ठीक हैं?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अल्लाह का शुक्र है, माशाल्लाह।
बस कल मैं जुम्मे की नमाज पढ़ के यहाँ से निकलूंगा मक्के, उम्रा करूंगा, फिर हफ्ते इतवार को पाकिस्तान आ रहा हूँ। कोई हुक्म मेरे लायक हो तो बताएं लगे
इंशाल्लाह।
कोई चीज यहाँ से भाईजान?
बस बस दुआ में यार, दुआ करे वहाँ से जमजम लाए।
हाँ इंशाल्लाह ताला जमजम तो मेरे साथ होगा इंशाल्लाह। और अल्लाह ने चाहा तो उम्मीद, देखो वादा किया था वो बंदे ने गुस्से पे पानी के, अगर उसने दिया तो वो भी लेता हूँ मैं इंशाल्लाह।
ठीक। अच्छा फारूक, वो आप जद्दा जाओगे? जद्दा?
हाँ जद्दा से प्लेन में बैठूंगा ना बेगम।
हाँ, तो उधर वो आपको पता है वो जूते की दुकान जहाँ से हम लोग जूते लेते थे?
हाँ वहाँ गया था मैं, वहाँ दुकान बंद हो गई है उस तरफ, लेकिन आप बताएं कौन सी क्या लेना है बेगम?
नहीं छोड़ो,
वो दुकान बंद हो गई है। आप बोलते हैं तो दूसरी जगह से मिल जाता हूँ, लुइस विटॉन के। और ठीक है ना बेगम?
ठीक है। तो मेरी साइज है 42 नंबर, 9 नंबर समझ लेना ना।
हाँ बिल्कुल मैं ले आऊंगा इंशाल्लाह ताला बेगम।
42.5
बिल्कुल ठीक है भाईजान, बिल्कुल भाईजान इंशाल्लाह ताला भाईजान। और कोई चीज भाईजान चाहिए? और कोई चीज याद आती है तो बताएं भाईजान।
और कुछ भी नहीं।
Okay, bringing you on to the show now, India Today's Crime Bureau Chief Arvind Oja, also a managing editor, Gaurav Sawant. We're looking very closely at this developing story. Also very familiar because not the first time we've heard about Dawood Ibrahim either being hospitalized or actually dying. Arvind, ये जो audio files हमने जो अभी play किया है, जिसमें दाऊद इब्राहिम का आवाज़ है, जहाँ पे वो पाकिस्तान में रहने की बात कर रहा है, वो सब हमने सुन लिया अभी। लेकिन जो न्यूज़ या जो रिपोर्ट्स आ रहे हैं पाकिस्तान से, उस पर क्या जानकारी है अभी तक? अरविंद, कहाँ है दाऊद इब्राहिम अभी? उनका तबीयत कैसी है? क्या वो जिंदा हैं? इस पे बताइए।
नहीं देखिए, दाऊद इब्राहिम फिलहाल कराची में ही मौजूद है शिव। और सुबह से ही, जिस तरह से कल रात से ही इनफैक्ट जो ये अफवाह फैली कि दाऊद इब्राहिम हॉस्पिटलाइज्ड है, किसी ने उसे पॉइजन दे दिया, खुद जो पाकिस्तान की एक जर्नलिस्ट है आरजू काजमी, उसने ये क्लेम किया। ऑल्दो अभी कुछ देर पहले जब हमने खुद डी गैंग से बात की, डी गैंग के क्लोज एसोसिएट से बात की, दाऊद के करीबी से बातचीत की, उसने पूरी तरह से इस खबर का खंडन किया, बकवास बताया। उसके अलावा इंडिया टुडे की टीम ने इंटेलिजेंस के टॉप ऑफिशियल से बात की, उनका भी यही कहना है कि ये जो खबर है ये पूरी तरह से गलत खबर। अभी तक जो चूंकि जिस तरह से इंटरसेप्ट करते हैं वो कराची और पाकिस्तान में जो इंडिया से मोस्ट वांटेड टेररिस्ट या फिर अंडरवर्ल्ड डॉन है, उनका कहना है कि ये पूरी तरह से गलत खबर है। और जब आरजू को हमने कन्फ्रंट किया तब वो भी बैकफुट पे आए, उनका कहना है कि नहीं, बिल्कुल इसकी जांच होनी चाहिए कि आखिर ये खबर किसने उड़ाई। तो कुल मिलाकर अगर बात की जाए तो सुबह से इंडिया टुडे की टीम ने दाऊद के बारे में जानकारी जानने के लिए दाऊद से रिलेटेड, दाऊद के कई क्लोज एसोसिएट से बात की। साथ ही साथ हमने इंडियन इंटेलिजेंस के कई टॉप ऑफिशियल से बात की। उनका कहना है कि इस खबर में कोई दम नहीं है। बहुत मुमकिन है कि पाकिस्तान में जिस तरह के हालात हुए हैं और अननोन गनमैन वो कि जिस तरह से दहशत है पाकिस्तान में, बहुत मुमकिन है कि दाऊद इब्राहिम आईएसआई के साथ मिलकर आई वॉश कर रही हो, कहीं ना कहीं डाइवर्ट करने की कोशिश कर रही हो। उसके अलावा जो अभी हमने ऑडियो प्ले किया उसमें दो चीज़ें कहें तो तीन चीज़ें क्लियर हो रही हैं। एक तो ये कि वो पाकिस्तान में मौजूद है, उसकी मौजूदगी वो खुद एक्सेप्ट कर रहा है इस ऑडियो टेप में, बातचीत में, नंबर एक। नंबर दो, जिद्दा में रहने की बात भी इसमें सामने आई है कि कभी वो जिद्दा में रहा था। और क्योंकि पाकिस्तान की एजेंसीज की तरफ से एक बार एक ऑफिसर ने यह दावा किया था कि जब काफ़ी प्रेशर बढ़ा था तब उसे पाकिस्तान से कई बार जिद्दा शिफ्ट किया गया था। ये एडमिट इसमें होता है कि पाकिस्तान के अलावा जिद्दा में भी दाऊद इब्राहिम रहा था। तीसरा ये कि किस तरह की वो लग्जरी लाइफ जीता है, जिस जूते के का नाम वो ले रहा है उसकी कीमत 5 लाख से ज़्यादा की है। लेकिन जो ये उसे फीवर है या हॉस्पिटलाइज्ड है या पॉइजन है, इसका खबर का खंडन न सिर्फ दाऊद इब्राहिम गैंग के लोगों ने, दाऊद के बेहद क्लोज एसोसिएट ने और बल्कि इंडियन इंटेलिजेंस ने भी किया है। शिव।
Okay, Arvind, हमारे साथ बने रहिए. Gaurav, what are you hearing from your sources? How are they commenting on this news that's come out of Pakistan? And what are they telling you about Dawood?
So it is a fact that Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar lives in Karachi, Pakistan. That's a well-established fact. Is he dead? Is he alive? Has he been poisoned? Is he under the weather? So that information is being gleaned. Javed Miadad, whose son is married to Dawood Ibrahim's daughter. Javed Miadad has said that he will not comment on this issue at all. Of course, this could well be Pakistan's agencies trying to wash their hands off Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar. They simply want to say that he's no longer a threat to India or he's no longer there. They tried to do that with Sajid Mir and not once but repeatedly. 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks mastermind. Pakistan claimed at least thrice that Sajid Mir was dead, but each time he was alive. He was, when FATF scrutiny started, they put him in jail, and now again they said that he's been poisoned in prison and he's in hospital. So with Pakistan, you never know, because as Imran Khan put it, Pakistan could sell their own mother or kill their own mother for money.
It's very, very true. With Pakistan, you never know. That is really the bottom line of everything that we are reporting at this point of time. We also have some more news coming in right now, because remember, India Today's fact-check team is constantly in overdrive, looking at every single thing that emanates from Pakistan, makes its way into Indian social media and mainstream media. So we've got two eyes on everything that comes out of Pakistan, because like Gaurav said, you can never really tell. Here's what our fact-check team is bringing to us. Here's the breaking story we're bringing to you right now. Contrary to social media speculation, credible intelligence sources have told our fact-check team that they are debunking rumors circulating about the alleged poisoning and death of Dawood Ibrahim, India's most wanted terrorist fugitive in Karachi. Our fact-check team says that they're hearing that these unfounded claims gained traction following a late-night video from Pakistani YouTuber Arzu Kazmi, like Arvind pointed out, who, relying on unverified social media reports, speculated on Dawood Ibrahim's poisoning and hospitalization. Let's go to the head of our open source intelligence team on this. Ankit, just take us through how it began. This sounds very familiar. The usual grey information emanating from Pakistan, taking root, finding a lot of traction. And I, for one, am not surprised, because for most people, the news of Dawood Ibrahim being ill or dying is a very welcome thing. And therefore, people would have spread this even more.
Well, Shiv, since morning, we have spoken to several sources in the intelligence community. Our colleague Arvind, in fact, has even spoken to his family members. We have looked at the evidence or the lack of it in this case. We have every reason to believe that the fiction of Dawood Ibrahim being dead or poisoned is not true as of today. Heart of the story is not even Dawood Ibrahim. The heart of the story is how a hearsay is being taken on the face value. Now, there's an interesting pattern here. You remember, since we ran our special on India's most hunted, right here on India Today, on your show a few months back, what we have witnessed is a cluster of so-called intelligence accounts on digital and social media. Now, what they do very carefully is they have picked up these kind of topics which have a tendency to go viral very quick. Now, if you see the source of this information, the Pakistani YouTuber, if you listen to what she has to say in her original video, Azu Kazmi has been attributing the information to the Indian sources, and Indian sources have been attributing the information to the Pakistani sources. So it's a full circle now. And because these kind of information tend to go very viral, we would like to see Dawood Ibrahim facing justice. He's 67 years old, so he's going to be dead one way or the other. But as of today, based on the information that we have received, based on also the kind of ecosystem that this information has followed, you see, there was a URL that mimics the URL of GeoTV, which is the largest news network of Pakistan. Even that URL is not of that of GeoTV. It's a fake URL that mimics the appearance of GeoTV. So no credible information. Indian intelligence sources clearly denying that these kind of incident has taken place, and also the information ecosystem that the information has traveled. All this put together, and the reason why we are putting all those audio tapes is also to kind of give a sense to our audiences that the kind of sources that we have been dealing with, they have the kind of access, they have they have been following this gang member for a very, very, very long time. These tapes are not very recent, but they have been following every footstep of Dawood Ibrahim and his family. So according to all those sources, Dawood Ibrahim has not been poisoned and definitely not dead.
Okay, definitely not poisoned and definitely not dead is what we can confirm to you. This is important, viewer. Aghe, thank you very much for that. And, for anyone who's watching our broadcast right now and saying, let people believe Dawood Ibrahim is dead, why are you trying to debunk this information? Let me tell you very clearly, viewer, that this is information that suits the ISI. This is information that suits the Pakistani government because they want to try and use this as some kind of a diversion and to create a smoke screen over what is actually happening inside Pakistan. Always remember to question everything that comes out of Pakistan. Look at these two pictures, viewer. On this side, you can see the most well-known image of Dawood Ibrahim, the image that most people recognize him from. And the other image you see on the screen is the last known image of Dawood Ibrahim. This was taken, if I'm not mistaken, sometime in 2016, 2017. India Today had broken it at that point of time. That's what he looks like right now. Remember that Dawood Ibrahim is by no means very old. He is known to suffer from certain health-related ailments, but he is 67 years old, which is really not that old by any stretch of imagination. Born on 26 December 1955. Gaurav, I want to come to you now because this unknown gunman metaphor has been, viraling right through the year today, whether it is Dawood Malik or Shahid Latif or Sajid Mir, so many other India-wanted terrorists who've been bumped off in Pakistan by so-called unknown gunmen. We don't know who those people are who killed these terrorists. That will forever remain in the realm of speculation. But as far as Dawood Ibrahim is concerned, what is India's history of trying to get him? I do remember R.K. Singh. R.K. Singh famously telling India Today's Rahul Kanwal, way back in 2012, that the Vajpayee government had an active covert operation to kill Dawood, and it was compromised internally by the Mumbai police or certain rogue elements. Give us a sense of what India has done so far to try and get Dawood.
So India's ace spy master and the current national security advisor Ajit Doval had tried and has been trying to ensure that India's most wanted terrorists are brought to justice and no longer pose a threat to our country. So there was an effort that was made, and not once but multiple times, to bring Dawood back, including a conversation for him, because he claimed he was innocent in the 1993 blast. So he was told, come face trial. In another instance, there was a rival gang that an attempt was made, at least that's the information that filtered out in public domain to get Dawood Ibrahim and neutralize him. However, elements in the Mumbai police, and remember, elements in the Mumbai police were complicit even before 1993, that led to that horrible blast in Mumbai, that serial blast, 12 blasts in Mumbai, in which 257 people were killed and over 700 injured. The weapons and explosives, so Shiv, more than 3 tons of RDX, Austrian marking grenades of Pakistan Ordnance Factory, made under license in POF. All of this, plus over 100 AK series assault rifles, 40,000 rounds of ammunition. So Dawood Ibrahim and his D company were involved in those weapons and ammunition coming either through the Bharuch coast or the Raigad coast of Maharashtra or in Gujarat. Abu Salem, Chota Shakil, a number of other terrorists, Tiger Memon, involved in the manufacturing, in the making of those bombs and planting those bombs, in which 257 people were killed, Shiv.
Very, very interesting. So it's not like India has not had a campaign to try and get to Dawood Ibrahim. Now, he might have cloistered himself in his safe house in Karachi's most upscale Clifton district, but his audio tapes have made headlines on several occasions, like the one we just played for you. Here's another one where he was caught on tape talking to his wife and son-in-law. Take a look at this.
मैं जो बोलूं हाँ तो हाँ, मैं जो बोलूं ना तो ना.
What you're hearing is not just a random Kishore Kumar song. It's the Terror Dawn's latest caller tune. मैं जो बोलूं हाँ तो हाँ, मैं जो बोलूं ना तो ना. My word is your command is what it means. Very much in tune with Dawood Ibrahim's absolute control over his terror regime. The crime lord is fit and fine. Speculations are put to rest. India today has scooped communications unheard of ever before. The Don, his wife Mehjabeen Sheikh in Karachi, and their confidant Dawood Chutani in Dubai. Chutani, a key component of Dawood's underworld business. According to highly placed intelligence sources, Chutani is the bridge between D Company and Indian bookies, involved in cricket spot fixing. He also oversees the terror mastermind's massive real estate in Dubai. Listen into these most stunning intercepts.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
जी हुजूर.
जनाब सो गया था क्या?
अरे सर इधर तो को बदवा है सर, ना नींद आती है, खुदा की कसम क्या शहर है ये तो.
अच्छा.
हाँ सर ये तो अपना काम नहीं है सर इधर. 2 दिन में अपन तो थक गए. कल आ जाऊंगा रात को वापस, सोच रहा हूँ.
अच्छा
जी सर.
पंगा लेना नहीं है तेरे को?
है सर. सर इधर पंगा तो लेना है ना, वो तो मैं तैयार हूँ पंगा लेने के लिए.
You heard Dawood and his match fixer Dawood Chutani. But now you'll hear Dawood's wife, Mehjabeen Sheikh, revealing her obsession. Yes, Mrs. Dawood's fascination for French fashion, revealed for the first time on television.
दे
बात कर.
हाँ जी दे.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
बस क्या हाल है, सब खैरियत है?
जी अल्लाह का शुक्र है, आप कैसे हैं?
सब अल्लाह के करम है. क्या हुक्म है? फिक्र नहीं आप वो फिक्र करे बगैर बोले.
अभी आंखें दिखाते हैं मुझे.
अरे आप छोड़ो ना, आप मेरे से बात उनकी तरफ देखो ही मत.
अच्छा ठीक है, उनको देखो बगैर मैं बोलती. ठीक है, तो मैं आपको कल बताऊंगी. आपने एक पर्स लेना है.
ठीक है, मुझे बता दीजिएगा आप. कल के दिन में पक्का दोपहर तक 12-1-2 बजे तक बता दीजिएगा. हो सकता है मैं रात को आ जाऊँ.
मैं आपके वहाँ पे मोबाइल में SMS डाल दूंगी. चैनल का है.
ठीक है.
चैनल के उस पर जाइएगा. चैनल का ब्रांड है, तो चैनल के ही नाम से है उनका शोरूम. बात है वो है कहाँ पे, वो मैं आपको कल बता देती हूँ.
वो मुझे सब बता दे, पूछ के बता देना.
अच्छा
क्या 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 बोल रहे?
तारिक भाई है ना, उनको मालूम है बैग भी कौन सा है और उनको शॉप भी मालूम है, सब कुछ मालूम है।
मैं पता है, आप छोड़ दो, मैं जानू, मेरा काम जाने।
हाँ, उससे बोलेगा वो जो शैनल का ब्लैक वाला पर्स मैंने रखवाया है।
आप बेफिक्र हो,
मतलब रखवाया नहीं था, बोल रहे कि आ रहा है, मतलब आ जाएगा अभी कुछ दिनों तक, तो मेरे ख्याल में आ गया होगा उनके पास।
मैं सुबह पता करके आपको बता भी दूंगा, आप फिक्र नहीं करो।
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
हाँ हाँ
ठीक है।
बस हो गया काम
जी।
जी सर।
Lady Dawn wants an expensive handbag made by the French fashion house Chanel. The henchman is duty bound to pick it up from a Dubai store.
ठीक है।
शैनल के उस पर जाइएगा, शैनल का ब्रांड है, तो शैनल के ही नाम से है उनका शोरूम। बात है वो है कहाँ पे, वो मैं आपको कल बता देती हूँ।
वो मुझे सब बता दे, पूछ के बता देना।
अच्छा
क्या 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 बोल रहे?
तारिक भाई है ना, उनको मालूम है बैग भी कौन सा है और उनको शॉप भी मालूम है, सब कुछ मालूम है।
मैं पता है, आप छोड़ दो, मैं जानू, मेरा काम जाने।
हाँ, उससे बोलेगा वो जो शैनल का ब्लैक वाला पर्स मैंने रखवाया है।
आप बेफिक्र हो।
Mrs. Dawood has given her wish list. The gangsters get back to work, but the Dawn is more watchful than ever before. Rattled by the Modi administration's tough stance on global terror.
मैं जो बोलूं हाँ तो हाँ, मैं जो बोलूं ना तो ना।
When his phone rang, Eid this year, this is how Dawood advised caution to his nephew calling from Dubai.
हेलो
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम।
ईद मुबारक।
हाँ, ईद मुबारक। क्या है?
जी बस अल्लाह।
तू वहाँ से फोन क्यों करता?
जी
वहाँ से फोन नहीं करा कर? जी जी ठीक है ना, फिर बात करना। जी ओके।
Clearly, Dawood Ibrahim is aware the Modi government has put intelligence apparatus on top gear. His fears are real. The call has been intercepted.
मैं जो बोलूं हाँ तो हाँ, मैं जो बोलूं ना तो ना।
The evidence is laid bare. But when will the international community act to get this global terrorist from his Karachi safe house? With Arvind Oja, Bureau Report, India Today.
It's the big story of the day today. A total of 92 opposition members of parliament have been suspended from parliament. 11 more Rajya Sabha MPs have now been suspended. This is the largest number of opposition MPs that have ever been suspended in the last decade or more. Opposition parties, as you can imagine, are up in arms. 46 MPs have been suspended in the Lok Sabha and 46 have been suspended in the Rajya Sabha. So that's a total of 92 opposition MPs who've been suspended from Parliament at this time. This is in the wake of the huge politics over the Parliament breach. Minister Piyush Goyal is speaking. Let's listen.
जो पीड़ा हो रही है उसका आज सभी ने दृश्य देखा। ये बहुत दुर्भाग्य की बात है। हम निंदा करते हैं इनके व्यवहार की, जिस प्रकार से इन्होंने सदन में बार बार व्यवधान किया और जिनके कारण भारत की इस लोकतंत्र के मंदिर का अपमान हुआ है, इसकी हम घोर निंदा करते हैं। बहुत लेट से आता है सर, वो फिर अब तक वो शुरू
Over, the parliamentary security breach has reached a historic 11 now, with 11 more Rajya Sabha MPs suspended, taking the total of 46 from the upper house, 92 in total. This could become a huge political inflection point. K.C. Venugopal, General Secretary of the Congress, is speaking.
Oh, now the parliament is functioning only for one purpose, to suppress the entire voice of the opposition and to suspend maximum people, those who are raising the issues of the people and the security. This is the thing is happening. Because this type of the parliament is actually our impression is that parliament is for discussion and debate. But now the parliament is for suspension of opposition members.
1/8 of the parliament stands suspended. അത്രയും എം പിമാരെ സസ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട കാരണം കൂടി പരിശോധിച്ചാൽ രാജ്യത്തെ തന്നെ ഞെട്ടിച്ച ഒരു സംഭവമായ പാർലമെന്റിന്റെ അകത്ത് നടന്ന ഒരു സുരക്ഷാ വീഴ്ചയെക്കുറിച്ച് ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആഭ്യന്തരമന്ത്രിയോ പറയണമെന്ന് ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടതുകൊണ്ട് എം പിമാരെ സസ്പെൻഡ്.
Let's go straight across to India Today's Polomi Saha tracking Parliament for India Today. Polomi, 92 is a staggering figure. 46 MPs suspended in both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. What happens next?
Well, it remains seen if there is any breakthrough or any thaw, because as far as the opposition is concerned, now they're going to be more belligerent. I suspect nobody is going to ask for any revocation of this suspension, not just because of the fact that, it's going to last just a couple of days more, till about the 22nd of December when this session comes to an end. But the fact that, earlier with the first lot of suspensions that took place, 14 members of parliament before today, 13 from the Lok Sabha, 1 from the Rajya Sabha. The opposition had reached out to the Rajya Sabha chairman, Mallikarjun Kharge, writing for Trinamool Member of Parliament Dawood Ibrahim to the Rajya Sabha chairman, or Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary reaching out to the Lok Sabha speaker. In the case of the Congress MPs, at that point of time, 13 of them who had been suspended. But now that everyone has come under the purview of this suspension, practically 1/8, as was being quoted by one member of parliament, which now stands suspended, we can expect, the opposition to be more aggressive, more belligerent, and there could be very stormy scenes inside a parliament and outside as well. Of course, they won't be let inside the house because now they stand suspended. But given that, they've been already sitting on the steps of the Parliament gate, those who are inside will definitely, challenge the authority of the Speaker and the Chairman to go ahead with these suspensions, because they're calling it a murder of democracy, a black day for democracy, saying we simply asked for a statement from the Home Minister on the Parliament security breach, and this is what we got in return, asking for a clarification on what happened, how did it happen, and what can be done in order to review the security of Parliament to tighten it. And this is what we've got in return. So just expect that the situation will get extremely stormy for the last few days of this winter session with the centre and the opposition at loggerheads.
But Polomi, politically speaking, this also becomes a really, really big rallying point ahead of that big India Alliance meeting.
Absolutely. This becomes a big point. It remains to be seen how the opposition, of course, capitalizes on this and possibly takes it to the people, saying, we were raising questions, and simply for raising questions which concerns Parliament security, which is a house for every one of us. It's not just the government's house. It is a house which has every party represented, those who have been elected to power sent there, those nominated sent there as well. It represents everyone. And if you're going to ask tough questions concerning the safety and security of members of Parliament, what if someone was hurt on that day? What if, a dangerous sort of, instrument was brought in, or anything could have happened? So simply asking questions, we've been suspended. It remains to be seen, of course, how, of course, it will rally the India parties ahead of that very crucial meeting, which is to take place tomorrow at 3 p.m. But how they take it to the people is also going to be extremely critical.
Polomi, thanks very much for that. 3 p.m. tomorrow is the India Alliance meeting. 92 MPs have been suspended. That's the maximum number that have ever been suspended. Minister Piyush Goyal has just spoken on this issue. Let's listen.
अपमान किया गया, उनके बार-बार आग्रह पर, उनके बार-बार अनुरोध पर विपक्ष के नेताओं तक ने उनकी बात नहीं सुनी, वेल में आए, अपनी सीट से निकल के हर प्रकार का व्यवधान किया। और यही नहीं, कई माननीय सदस्य तो प्लेकार्ड लेके, जिसके बारे में माननीय स्पीकर के समक्ष और माननीय चेयरमैन के समक्ष सर्वदलीय बैठक में ये तय हुआ था कि कोई भी पार्टी, चाहे सत्तारूढ़ पार्टी हो चाहे विपक्ष हो, कोई भी माननीय सदस्य कभी भी पार्टी लेके, प्लेकार्ड लेके सदन के कार्यवाही को बिगाड़ेगा नहीं, सदन में इस प्रकार का व्यवहार नहीं करेगा। उसके बावजूद आज कई माननीय सदस्य प्लेकार्ड लेके दोनों सदनों में आए। बार बार अनुरोध किया गया, माननीय सदस्यों को अपील करी गई कि वो अपने सीट पर बैठ के बोले। बार बार अपील किया गया कि प्लेकार्ड लेके ना आए। उसके बावजूद जिस प्रकार का व्यवहार रहा, उसके चलते आज माननीय लोकसभा अध्यक्ष को 33 माननीय सांसदों को सस्पेंड करना पड़ा इस सेशन के आखिरी दिन तक, और राज्यसभा में माननीय 34 सांसदों को सस्पेंड करना पड़ा इस सेशन के आखिरी दिन तक, और 11 अन्य सांसदों को सस्पेंड करना पड़ा जब तक कि उनका केस जो प्रिविलेज कमेटी को रेफर हुआ है प्लेकार्ड लेके आने के कारण, वेल में आने के कारण और व्यवधान करने के कारण, ये जो 11 मेंबर्स हैं उनका केस प्रिविलेज कमेटी को रेफर किया गया है।
And on the other side of this break, old comment by the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who we here in India know so well, has exploded and gone viral, where she talks about how Islamic culture and European values are incompatible. This comes on the back of the big immigration debate in Europe. That's next.
Rushed to a hospital, the entire hospital cordoned off, receiving that VIP treatment that he is currently receiving because of that clout he has. And what we know is that he's the residence in Karachi itself. There's not one house that we could say for sure that this is where Dawood Ibrahim stays. In fact, there are multiple houses in Karachi itself that Dawood Ibrahim is set to own. And a bunch of them include the White House in Clifton, Karachi, the 30th Street in Karachi. He has a residence there. In Defence Housing Authority, Karachi, he's said to have a house there. In Noorabad, Karachi, he's said to have a house there. So it's really hard to understand where exactly Dawood Ibrahim lives and who he lives with. Right after he got married for the second time, he's said to have moved to Pakistan, but still no clarity on which of the residents he actually lives in or he moves about, and that's what likely is the situation. In Margalla Road, Islamabad as well, he's said to have a home. So no compliance from the Pakistan government or authorities so far on handing over Dawood Ibrahim or implicating him in the crimes that he's committed so far.
Air quality today. In Delhi, 366. In Mumbai, 214. In Kolkata, 270. In Bangalore, 61. In Chennai, 62. In Hyderabad, 152.
Government schools in Hapur district in Uttar Pradesh have undertaken a unique initiative. Nipur Shala is a pilot project by the district administration to educate children through activities.
हम लोगों ने एक ये निपुण शाला कॉन्सेप्ट को जो है स्टार्ट किया, जिसमें आप देख पा रहे हैं जिस क्लासरूम में हम लोग हैं, ये एक क्रिएटिव क्लासरूम है. इट इज़ लाइक अ लैब जहाँ पे 3 अलग-अलग सेगमेंट्स हैं.
Nipur Shala is a classroom where creative tools, electronic devices and games are used to teach children. Students spend 2 to 3 hours a day in Nipur Shala. All subjects including English, mathematics and science are taught. The activities motivate children to come to school happily. The first phase of Nipur Shala covered 25 schools. Teachers of these schools were trained in modern teaching tools. The administration claims that after 90 days, the number of children proficient in the subjects increased from 30% to 90%. Phase 2 of Nipur Shala will cover 50 more schools. Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
In politics, everyone has an opinion, but I have the data. Whose stock is rising? Whose graph is falling? Track India's political stock exchange. Unmatched, unmissable data analytics. The only show on News TV where numbers do the talking. India's most credible poll tracker. The political stock exchange. With Rahul Kamal, only on India Today.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni finds herself in the headlines, especially here in India, quite a lot, but for very, very different reasons. Now she's back, this time making global headlines over a statement that she made some time ago on Islam that has now made its way back to the internet. While addressing an event some time ago, Meloni said that there is no place for Islam in Europe, adding that there is a problem of compatibility between Islamic culture and the values and rights of Europe's civilization. Meloni further went on to slam Saudi Arabia, alleging that the Islamic cultural centers in Italy are financed by Saudi Arabia, adding that it follows Sharia law at home and that Sharia law can never find a place in Italy. Well, the comments by Meloni come after the Italian Prime Minister hosted a political festival organized by her far-right party, the Brothers of Italy, in Rome. The event was attended by British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and Elon Musk himself.
I think there is a problem of compatibility between Islamic culture or a certain interpretation of Islamic culture and the rights and the values of our civilization. It does not escape me that most of the Islamic cultural centers in Italy are financed by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a nation that applies Sharia at home, and Sharia means stoning of adultery, death penalty of homosexuality. I believe that these questions need to be asked, which is not to generalize. On Islam, it means raising the problem that there is an ongoing process of Islamization of Europe, which is very distant from the values of our city.
Next. Let's go straight across to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan for more on this. Geeta, Giorgia Meloni belongs to a far-right party. The context perhaps is, a domestic audience or wherever, she was speaking about. But this has obviously lit a big fire. Speaking about Saudi Arabia, talking about Sharia law, actually enunciating that Islamic, culture has no place in Europe. Is this just a domestic story for her, or could there be repercussions?
Well, there will be massive repercussions, Shiv. The fact that there's so many layers to this one statement. One is the fact that she's named Saudi Arabia. We've looked at Italy and how they're looking to join this entire economic corridor between Europe, Asia, and West Asia, where Saudi Arabia is going to play a very important role. But look at her engagements in Dubai during COP28. There is a war for power between the UAE and Saudi Arabia in West Asia, and it seems like Giorgia Meloni has taken sides over here. On the other hand, look at the domestic politics. This is a conservative leader. Many in Italy say that after Mussolini, she's the first far extreme right-wing leader to have taken over as prime minister. And the right-wing rally that was held had another very important conservative leader from Europe, which is Rishi Sunak, the prime minister of Great Britain. So we are looking at a very steady way of consolidation. This is Meloni trying to consolidate her position. This is not about diversity, although she spoke about homosexuality, Shiv, but her own party, when it comes to LGBTQ and when it comes to abortion laws, is rather conservative. So over here, it is domestic politics at play. And we have seen in the recent past prayer rooms being shut. Saudi Arabia and the radicalization certainly a concern. And yes, it is a concern when it comes to radicalization and extremists getting hold of certain places and certain quarters and certain narratives in Europe and in Italy. So Giorgia Meloni over here, not just consolidating, but also trying to clearly state her position when it comes to her voters or Europeans, neighboring European nations, so on and so forth. But this, Shiv, certainly will have ramifications when it comes to relations with West Asia,
domestic audiences, but international ramifications. We'll have to see what those are. Not just headlines here in India, as is usually the case with Meloni that we've seen in the recent past. These are global headlines we're talking about. Geeta, thanks very much for that context on this important developing story. It's a wrap on 5 Live. Thank you so much for watching, but the news continues right after this break with Akshita on 6 p.m. Prime. The biggest story of the day, 92 opposition MPs have been suspended from both houses of parliament in the wake of the parliament breach politics. All of the MPs that have been protesting have been suspended. It's the big exploding story. Akshita has it right after this.
After the massive North-South debate that erupted after the recent assembly elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mega step for North-South Connect. With the beginning of the second edition of the Kashi-Tamil Sangamam at Namo Ghat, Prime Minister Modi flagged off a new Vande Bharat between Banaras and Kanyakumari to link the two important religious sites of the country. This initiative aligns with his vision of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, emphasizing unity and cultural integration across the nation.
एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के विजन की वीणा के तार को झंकृत किया।
काशी तमिल संगमम ऐसा ही अविरल प्रवाह है जो एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत इस भावना को लगातार मजबूत कर रहा है।
The Prime Minister called relations between Kashi and Tamil emotional as well as creative. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi held a roadshow and received a grand welcome. Prime Minister Modi flagged off the Bharat Sankalp Yatra and attended the exhibition where he met school children and beneficiaries of Modi government schemes.
विकसित भारत संकल्प यात्रा जो है ना, वो एक प्रकार से मेरी भी कसौटी है, मेरी एग्जामिनेशन है कि मैंने जो कहा था और जो मैं काम कर रहा था, मैं आपके मुंह से सुनना चाहता था और देश भर से सुनना चाहता हूं कि जैसा मैंने चाहा था वैसा हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है।
With Piyush Mishra from Banaras, Bureau Report, India Today.
No doubt about it that Pakistan government can never say that Dawood Ibrahim, who was the most wanted terrorist as far as India is concerned, is staying in Karachi. They have been denying this. We have issued them a dossier. We have given a pinpointed location of Clifton Town in Karachi that he is staying there with his second wife. He has 3 daughters, 1 son. But the Pakistan has been always denying this. And not only that, he is involved in a D company, counterfeiting currency. He's been sending in India drugs. He's involved in 1993 Mumbai Syria blast. So he is the one of the most wanted terrorists as far as India is concerned. And Pakistan has been always on denial. Let's assume that such an incident has taken place because he is admitted in Karachi hospital. The whole one of the level platform has been taken for him. They will never say he is being admitted because they cannot say that he is there in Karachi.
Exactly,
they are on a denial mode. Remember the problem which is coming as far as Pakistan is concerned. There are 18 terrorists which have been killed in last about 1 year. One does not know whether these are inter-gang rivalry or the ISI is now trying to eliminate them because they think they have now no more asset, but they are a liability because the Financial Action Task Force is been always breathing heavily and want to put Pakistan back again on the grey list. So no one can say anything, but certainly if he's poisoned, if he's in hospital, Pakistan government will be on denial.
India Today Group sweeps the ITA 2023 awards. From Best English News Channel, India Today TV.
Popular English News Channel, the award goes to India Today.
To Best Hindi News Channel, Aaj Tak.
Popular Hindi News Channel, and the award goes to Aaj Tak.
And Best Documentary OTT from Best Talk Show.
Best Chat Show, Rajdeep Sardesai.
To Best Male Anchor.
The award goes to Rahul Kanwal, News Track.
And the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti, exemplary leadership.
It gives me the greatest possible pleasure that Aaj Tak and India Today have once again been judged India's most popular channels at the ITA Awards. As someone who lives and breathes these channels, this honor is a real affirmation. Yes, there's a lot of pressure on us, and the pressure is yours. We always want to be bigger, better, faster, and more for you, our viewer.
Once again, the gold standard wins. Most trusted, most awarded. India Today, India's maximum channel.
Presented by ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. बनाऊंगा मैं, बनेगा भारत. Mutual funds, distributor करें शुरू. Driven by Audi.
This is the last session. तो इसलिए मैं निवेदन करता हूँ, हाथ जोड़ के विनंती करता हूँ, ये जो निर्णय हुआ था आपके समक्ष, तो
Politics speaks over Parliament security breach.